first day of the week, two of Jesus' disciples were going to a village 7 miles from Jerusalem called Emmaus. And they were conversing about all the things that had occurred. And it happened that while they were conversing and debating, Jesus himself drew near and walked with them. But their eyes were prevented from recognizing him. And he asked them, "What are you discussing as you walk along?" And they started looking downwards. One of them, named Cleophas, said to him in reply, "Are you the only visitor to Jerusalem who does not know of the things that have taken place there these days?" And he replied to them, "What sort of things?" And they said to him, "The things that happened to Jesus the Nazarene, who was a prophet, mighty indeed in word before God and all the people, and how our chief priests and rulers both handed him over to sentence of death and crucified him. But we were hoping that he would be the one to redeem Israel. And besides all this, it is now the 3rd day since this took place. Some women from our group, however, have astounded us, and they were at the tomb early in the morning and did not find his body. And they came back and reported that they had indeed seen a vision of angels who announced that he was alive. Then some of those with us went to the tomb and found things just as the women had described. But him they did not see." And he said to them, "Oh, how foolish you are! How slow of heart to believe all that the prophet had spoken. Was it not necessary that the Christ should suffer these things and enter into his glory?" Then beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them what referred to him in all the scriptures. And they approached the village to which they were going, and he gave the impression that he was going on farther. But they urged him, "Stay with us, for it is nearly evening, and the day is almost over." So he went in to stay with them. And it happened that while he was with them at table, he took bread and said a blessing, broke it, and gave it to them. With that, their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, but he vanished from their sight. Then they said to each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he spoke to us on the way and opened the scriptures to us?" And so they set out at once and returned to Jerusalem, where they found gathered together the 11 and those with them who were saying, "The Lord has truly been raised, has appeared to Simon." And the two recounted what had taken place on the way, and how it was made known to them in the breaking of the bread. Brothers and sisters, the gospel of the Lord.
Praise the Lord Jesus Christ.
You know, everyone has a time when we have to endure deep sadness. And that was indeed the experience of the two disciples on the road to Emmaus. Diba? Yung lungkot na ramdaman nila na namatay si Jesus. No, that should be, diba, losing someone that is very close to you, losing someone that you put all your trust, losing someone that you put all your hopes. Diba? And it saddens us, of course, especially if it is almost a family member for us. Like, we lost someone from the community. Lately lang, diba? We lost a voice from our choir. So the sadness that occupy their minds, their hearts, brings all of this down. Hindi mo ang maintindihan yan. Hindi natin maintindihan kapag iba na nakarasan ng lungkot sa buhay, ng mga nangyayari na hindi natin maiwasan. Dumadating siya sa buhay. At ibang andun yung lungkot na walang katagang pwedeng mag-lift up ng spirit mo. No? Walang mga, there are no words, even people who are there around you cannot just simply comfort that feeling. That was the experience of the disciples, walking downcast. Sabi nga niya, hanggang they're downcast. What will they do? Will they keep on crying? If crying will only ease the pain, sana, no? Pero hindi siya makaka-ease ng pains natin. Diba? All we have to do is to keep on moving forward lang. No? We have to move forward. We have to keep on moving. And Jesus was just simply listening to them. At this point of time, when we experience a lot of difficulties in life, when we are downcast, ibang panahon na hindi mo maintindihan ang lahat sa buhay, there is a time when God is so active. When the Lord is there with you, nandyan siya. There is a time na napaka-active niya. And He's just there, listening to our lamentations. Yung mga reklamo natin sa buhay, lahat-lahat. No? Nandun lang siya, nakikinig. Ito yung sinasabi sa akin ng Ebanghelyo. Hindi tayo iniwanan ng Diyos sa mga panahon na masaya tayo, sa mga panahon na maluto tayo. Nandun lang siya lagi. And He was just listening, and then He was just simply trying to tell them, you're foolish. Yun na. Hindi nyo naintindihan. Nandito na ako sa katabi mo. He was just walking with them. No? Naglalakbay sa kanya. Ito yung paglalakbay natin sa buhay. Buhay natin, isang napakahabang paglalakbay. Hindi natin naintindihan. No? Hindi naman lagi masaya tayo. Ha? Maraming kalungkutan na dumadating sa buhay. Kailangan na siguro natin maintindihan na magiging, when we are sad, we are truly in that sadness, nagiging selfish tayo, yung pinapakinggan na natin, yung nararamdaman natin. Totoo lang. We become more human. May mga tao sa paligid natin, minsan hindi tayo maintindihan. Diba? Hindi nila tayo maintindihan yan. Kasi ikaw yung nagdaramdam yan, ikaw yung nakakaramdam yan. Nalungkot na yan sa buhay niya. Ikaw nakakaramdam. At ito yung mga panahon na we become so self-centered na nakapokus na tayo dun sa naramdaman natin, sa damdamin natin, na nakapokus tayo dun, na nakalimutan natin, na nandiyan pala yung Diyos na nakikinig sa atin natin. Hindi ka iniiwanan. And Jesus just simply listening to them, okay? Again, magreklamo ba yung mga reklamo? Nakikinig na siya, and then all of a sudden, He said, hey, ano kayo? Para kayo mga baliw. Diba? You're just like foolish people. Di ba kayo naiiniwala? Diba? People are trying to claim, people are trying to prove the resurrection of Jesus in body, even until this time. No? Mga historians, mga scientists, mga mga archaeologists, they are trying to dig the history back and to prove that wrong ang concept natin. But faith cannot be wrong. More than 2,000 years happens, and faith is still strong. Diba? It cannot be wrong. So ito yung nangyayari lang sa atin. Ito yung nangyayari sa atin. We become so focused. Focus lang dun sa sarili natin. Nakakalimutan natin, nga pala yan. Nandiyan pa pala Lord yung mga wala kami iniwanan. All of a sudden, realize, Jesus would try to recall to them, no? Jesus would try to encourage them. Kaya niya, kinuwento sa kanila, hindi ba maintindihan mula pa nung unang pangyayari sa buhay hanggang sa panahon ngayon kung paano tayo ginabayan ng Diyos. Parang gano'n, di ba? Ano yung ginawa niya? Recounting from the Old Testament what the prophets have told us. No? And then all of a sudden, realize it only the breaking of the bread. Oh no, hindi ko dito yun. The breaking of the bread, to realize He's there. Diba? But He vanished on their sight. Kung minsan, when we realize na nandiyan siya, hindi na natin makikita siya. But, kung paano tayo ginagabayan ng Diyos, no, ang Panginoon sa buhay, sasabayan niya tayo. Magkikisabay siya sa mga panahon na nahihirapan tayo. Sa mga panahon na nalampasan mo na yon, and then He vanished. Okay, nalampasan mo na. You will not leave me. Diba? Yun eh. Pero habang binabaybay mo yung daan na yan ng kalungkutan, ng kahirapan, no? Ng mga problema, andyan ako, katabi mo. Hindi kita iiwanan. Iiwanan na kita kung nalampasan mo ito lahat. Kung naharap mo na ang lahat. Doon lang ako mawawala. Pero hindi kita totally iiwanan. I know yung parang, He will just make us realize na ito yung nangyayari sa buhay mo, no? May dahilan kung bakit siya nangyayari. And then you have to realize lang, no? Kailangan na mabuksan yung isipan mo, yung puso mo, yung pangunawa mo, na may dahilan na tapos kaya na kaya tayo dumadaan sa ganito. Diba? Meron siyang dahilan. Diba? Ito yung pinaka-best siguro. Diba? What are the lessons you learned from those experiences? Diba? Ano yung lessons na learn mo sa mga experiences na yun? God allows those experiences to happen. No? But the question is, ano yung na-learn mo, na-aral mo sa nakaranasan mo na yun? And when you realize it, then that's when you will see, oh nga, no, hindi tayo iwanan ng Diyos, patuloy siya nag-i-encourage sa iyo. Diba? Dami nyo, tayo, mga pinagdaanan sa buhay, hindi naman kayo bumigal. Diba? Tumuloy kayo, pati. Kala mo nun, that's the end of the world. No? That's the end of everything. Ang hirap naman. Bakit ganito kailangan mararasan ng mga ganito? Lalo pa sa atin, you realize, ano, Panginoon, siguro nakakalimutan talaga kami sa iyo. Diba? Siguro nakakalimutan lang talaga namin na dito na lang pala sumasabay sa amin. Diba? And then when you realize it, that's when God said, that's it. Now you see it. Baka nakita mo yun. So that's the gratitude. This is when the blessing will continue. So the two disciples on the road to Emmaus, in fact, the two disciples represents each one of us. And the road to Emmaus is a journey we're going to make in life. We are always on the road to Emmaus. Tayo yung malalakay. Kumagay tayo yung caminando sa Espanyol pa. Ginawa ko dati yan yung caminando na yan, walking for how many days? Days yun hindi yun oras. Malalakay yun. I even make a journey when I was caminando, during the journey, you try to realize and try to check yourself, Lord, ito yung paglalakbay na ito. I offer it all to you. You realize when you are alone, when you are journeying alone, you realize na daming pumapasok sa isipan mo, daming nagbabalik tanaw ka, nagpang-flashback yung mga experiences mo. At doon mo pinaproseso yung lahat ng mga experiences mo buhay. I walk from Imagine ka, I walked for 2 weeks from Belgium to Rome. 2 weeks yun. Hindi ako sumakay. Sana, kasi same ang Europe, pag naglakad ka sa Europe. Kahit sa magubat na daan ka dumadaan, no? Wala kang makikita ng very safe siya. So you walk and then you realize, realization mo sa sarili mo, and then when you arrive to your destination, it is where you realize, you are refreshed. You are renewed. So ito yung buhay natin, is a moment of renewal. Likewise, journeying in life is just journeying in the road to Emmaus. Diba? Sometimes we stop, but we have to continue moving forward. The movement is always forward. Kahit na umatras ka minsan, that is still forward. Kasi yung oras hindi ka hihintayin, patuloy siyang umaabante. Ha? Kasi kahit atras ka, umaabante ang oras, hindi siya umaatras. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka hintayin ng oras sa buhay mo. Susulong siya na susulong. Kahit nalito ka, tuloy siya. So ito yung buhay natin dapat. Nakikita natin. Kung gaano kayo sa lahat ng panahon, sa lahat ng segundo, minuto ng buhay, nandiyan ang Diyos lagi. Sa mga panahon na hihirapan ka, mas lalo siyang mas lalo kang naging mas malapit sa Kanya. Nandun siya lalo, nagiging more active. Diba? Yun. Bagay, yung sabi sa amin ng mga kaibigan ko, just sing your blues, Father Art. Nahilig ang kumanta, sing your blues. Kung ginawa ni Spirit, pangalan ng mga natin member. Si Rose, di ba? Yung sabi, she just simply keep singing her blues. Alam niya, dumadanas siya ng sakit. Alam niya na wala na may taning na lahat sa kanya. But, sing your blues. Sing it to God. Pray twice by singing. No? Kung kailan ka malungkot, doon ka dapat kumanta. Sige, kumuha ka ng microphone o karaoke ka dyan ng mga banal na mga kanta. No? Diba yung mga kantang Diyos? Yan, kumanta ka dyan. Sing your blues. Makikita mo kung paano, at a certain moment of your life, when you're experiencing difficulties, the most difficult moment of your life, my friend, that's when God is very active. That's when the Lord is so present. The road to Emmaus is an encouragement to each one of us. Ito'y encouragement sa bawat isa sa atin na may mga yugto sa buhay o dumadanas ka ng napakaraming mga pagsubok. Oo, dumadanas ka ng mga lago o minsan. Hindi mo naintindihan bakit nangyayari. No? Hindi mo maintindihan bakit nangyayari ito. Pero yan mga panahon na yan, yan mo makikita kung kailan mas lalong nagiging present. No? Nandun yung presensya ng Panginoon sa buhay. Wala sabi ngayon, kapit mo na, dito tayo. Hindi ka nag-iisa dyan. Then when you realize, oh my Lord, nandito ko na lang, bakit ako masyadong OA? Nag-overreact ako dito sa mga sitwasyon na yun, nandito ka malalagay. That's where you are. It is the Lord. Realization happens. And when you realize that God is so present, that's when He just simply go back to the same. Hindi siya mag-front sa iyo. Kung mga panahon naman na malungkot ka, doon siya, naka-front siya sa iyo. Ako yung makaharap dito sa lahat. Ako yung magiging shield mo. Kung all these difficulties in life. But when you are able to overcome it, then I will be there at your back. Simply to hold you when you fall back. Right? What a wonderful God we have. Huh? So wonderful. Indeed, you have to realize He is always alive. He is present. Now, today, we are the first week of Easter. But life is always more beautiful and meaningful when we live it with God. Nothing can go wrong when God is always present in our mind,